And if somebody helps me out, I never fucking forget it.
Right.
That's why I never forget Cascabeles.
Right.
And I never forget the Memo Minus from Magdalena.
Right.
Because they're the only two teams that believed in me.
Right.
And here's the thing. And people talk shit about me because they say, oh, you're just your fucking worker, blah, blah, blah.
Well, hey. I own all this, and I tell people, I work here.
Yeah.
I've told you that today. You come out there and you're like, well, let's do this video. And this. I said, what you got? I work here. The Gypsies was here the other day, and Danny gets out of the car, Gypsy Power. And he gets out and he puts his hands up. And I said, what the hell's wrong with you? He says, hey, I just work here. I said, well, come on. And we went and did what we had to do. But it was when you get that mentality, you stay humble, you stay simple.
Here's the thing.
In my opinion.
I'm so fucking passionate about chicken fighting.
Yeah.
It's my fucking goddamn passion.
Right.
And I never see it as work. If I go to here and there and I do my raffles, I go to Todd, will you buy me a raffle? Cheap motherfucker won't buy me a goddamn raffle.
I don't gamble. I done told you I don't gamble. Quit bothering me and worrying the hell out of me.
I go on somebody else and I do my raffles and stuff, pay the bills. I'm not, it doesn't embarrass me. Right. It doesn't embarrass me that I feed for so and so and so. I got my fucking 140 roosters.
Right.
You know, you're going to send me some roosters. You know, now I got other people wanting to send me roosters now that they know I did a good job.
Right.
And like, you know, Cascabeles told me, I go, you know, I want you there all the time. I go, I can't.
Right.
I can't because I can't. I can come and point the roosters and I got good people and I can do this, I can do that, but I cannot be there all the time. And that bugged him, and so we talked and go, okay, you know what? I'll give you a couple of roosters here, a couple of roosters there. You help me out, you back me here and back me there. I go, fine. And I told him, if I ever not feed for you,
right,
I'll be grateful to you the rest of my life. Right. And I will never, ever, ever fight a man against you because that's how I was taught.
Right.
I will never, ever, ever, ever fuck anybody over.
Right.
But that's the way I was taught, though.
Right. You know, I today, speaking of that first little green-legged gray I brought into the barn, he'd been in the pen 4 weeks. The little green-legged, the nice little gray. The one I was rubbing real gentle, and I had him on the workbench, and I was rubbing him and fooling with him, and most people's chickens would have flew out of the damn barn, and you'd had to get to them there. He got spurs about that long, and I got him on the bench, and I'm rubbing on him, and I'm talking to him.
We talked about that, too. All your lines are tame, and they're not no mean fighters.
Right.
All good in the head.
All right. So I've got a 8-month-old baby stag that went to the stag pen, to the workbench, and I'm over there rubbing him, and I'm real gentle, and I'm walking him, and you're getting ready to talk about, you know, what line he is and everything, and you just stopped. And you kind of like put your hands on your hip, and you did that, and I'm watching you, and I'm rubbing that rooster. And he's just standing there. And you looked at me and you says, why? Why don't you do this full time? Why don't you quit your job and do this full time? And I value that, because you see something. You're good at seeing what's next. You're pretty good at seeing the future. You're pretty good at opportunity when it shows up. You're good at seeing it. Mm-hmm. And I got that little rooster, and I walked in there, and I mean, it was like he knew what we was doing, like we were a team. Well, and I wish you could have seen your face when I told you, well, I love my job. And
I told you, it's your fucking cow.
That's my cow. You're right. You're right.
And I told you, I could do 20 interviews, 30, 40, 50 interviews with 50 other people the day of, and I'm here with you. And I'm here with you not because I like you.
Right.
Because I know there's a future with you.
Right.
I know you got good lines.
Well, I value that.
I know you're fucking honest.
Yeah.
And I know you know good chickens.
I just work here.
And you're a goofy motherfucker. But I know you're fucking honest.
Right. I try my best. I'm not perfect, but
I know you're fucking honest.
I will work.
And I hope, you know, I've never been fucked over by anybody.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be the first.
I hope you're not the goddamn
Yeah. No, I seen you coming. I said, oh, here he comes. But
But I see a future in you, and that's why
I
I'm
appreciate
here.
that. I value that.
And I told him Memo, I sent him some videos, and I go, and I'm gonna talk to him later on today. You gotta buy these roosters. You have to.
Well, we just want to change.
Because
I want the opportunity.
Because I can win with these roosters.
Right.
I'm gonna tell him that because I know I can win with these roosters.
Well, I value that and I appreciate that. But it goes back to what was put in my hands to produce what we have on our farm. It's life is a circle.
Yeah.
And I believe that, and I know that I know where my credit's owed and my credit's due, and that's why I try to always be respectful to who was there for me.
Right.
And we're going to go forward, and we're going to do our best and try to produce solid, honest chickens to go perform at a solid, honest level.
You know the thing about you though, you're not gonna fuck somebody over, like so many people. That's one thing, and you're not afraid to start over.
Right.
What are you doing? And you're not afraid to start over, and you're not afraid to see your mistakes.
Right.
You're not afraid to see your mistakes.
Right. Right. Well, when it comes a point in time in life when something's not working, you have to be like that head coach, and you have to call that time out.
Right.
You understand? And when you make that change, you have to go either up or out. And we've chosen to try to go up.
Right.
And that's what we've tried to do. You understand? And that's the system we're going to go with right now. And if it produces championships, we'll stay right where we're at. And if we need to tweak or tune something, we'll tweak and tune something. Or if we have one cross that stands out, because we've got the youngest brother in the family, he swears up and down the gray radios will be above and beyond everything else. And he's the number one feeder in the world right now. So, in my opinion...
Isn't that funny how we all go back to the same lines from fucking 50 years ago?
It's amazing.
50 years ago, Jumper had the radios, Kelsos,
the hatches,
Albany.
That's right.
Sweaters.
Well, now here it goes back again.
Hatch.
Right.
And now in Mexico, you have Japs, 20 different kinds of ACOs.
Right.
20 different kinds of Japs.
Right.
20 different kinds of fucking Hennies.
Right.
Doms, Toppies were real popular for
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to wish everybody in the world luck. And I'm going to stay with the lines that continue.
You told me earlier.
He
said this. He said, I'm going to raise a bunch of Hennies.
No. Hey, go get my dog. I'm going to let my dog bite your ass.
1,000 trios.
Yeah.
For $300 a trio. And give some for free.
Hey, and he wanted the first trio.
So that I can meet those motherfuckers in 3 years.
Right. Well, with me.
Who said that?
D. Cox.
About the sweaters.
Yeah, he was saying, I'm going to go buy them and give them to everybody. D. Cox, he was a storytellingist, most confident, little old bitty skinny human being I've ever seen in my life. He could tell a story when we used to go when it was legal and he was alive and well. No, he was funny. Oh, he'd get down in the floor and talk about wrestling and dropping the boot and dropping the elbow, and then he'd get down in the floor and perform it. I used to just sit back and watch him. I
saw Jimbo the other day.
I love Jimbo. Jimbo and Mike are real people. And I said, good people.
Your daddy will roll over his grave. He knew you had sweaters and ACOs.
Yeah, you're right. You're
right. Roll over his grave.
That's exactly right.
Jimbo Cox, good guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. Jimbo and Mike, since we've met, we've been friends, and I've always had a lot of respect for Jimbo and Mike. They're just good people, and they've got a gorgeous farm out there in Alabama. And several years ago, me and Hardhead, my wife Kathy, I call her Hardhead. Me and Hardhead was out there, and we went to like Jerry's barbecue, and we went and visited and this and that and other. And what is it?
Go ahead.
Oh, she had made we took the tea maker out there, and every year we go to Jerry's barbecue. We make tea, and it's a big deal there. And we had a 5-gallon water can of sweet tea riding around, and it's in the back of the truck. Well, I swing by and pick up Brian Corker, and we're gonna go over to Jimbo's, and we're over there visiting, just hanging out, one thing and another. And we stayed at Jimbo's house that night, and got up that next morning. You look out that bedroom window across that big old beautiful farm. It's a gorgeous place out there.
I thought the Jimbo, like, sat down. I should have recorded. I wish I would have recorded, but I didn't. But it comes to who raised you, how they raised you.
Right.
He's talking about his daughter, right? I go, how come you don't go to the shows anymore? I mean, you don't go to Mexico the shows, and you do real good. I go, he said, Victor, my daughter's, I think she was like 12 or something.
Right.
And she's only going to be 12 one time in her life.
That's right.
He goes,
I respect that.
And he said, but she's so fucking competitive, like so competitive. And I know Jimbo's competitive too,
Very, very.
And he told me a story where it's like, it was sad, but it's like the truth, It's like, it's like telling a story about how your daddy beat you or something, like,
right.
Like it's sad, but it made you who you are today. And
right.
We talked about this yesterday, how,
right.
You talked about your parents, how, they were the way they were, but because of the way they were,
right.
You are who you are now.
Right. That's correct.
He said, my dad was so hard on me.
Right.
He would have me at the farm with a rooster in my hand, on my knees, handing the rooster, and screaming, motherfucker, do this, do that. I mean, just screaming in our ear.
Yeah.
Make him the best.
That's right.
It made him the best.
I had and I'm gonna say this, and I've not talked to Jimbo about it yet, but it's been, I don't know if it was in the last year or start of this year. A guy calls me on the phone. I get these calls all the time, and I think it's like you or some of my buddies or him or some of our buddies. They'll call me and prank call me every now and again. And this guy calls me up and he says, hey, Toddy, and he goes into this big spiel. I'm doing this interview and blah, 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 and I'm gonna put this interview out, and I'm producing this, and I'm gonna make, over the phone interviews with people. Well, I thought it was you had put somebody up to call me. I thought somebody was joking with me, so he's talking about what kind of lines you have, and I told him I got the hatch, the gray, and the radio, and the round head, and, we're talking about a thing or two about this and this and that. And he gets around there, and we get talking about feeders, back in the day, who did what or whatever, and this and that and other. And then he says, I got one more question before I get over here. I said, get over here? He said, get off of here. I said, okay. And he says, in your opinion, when it was legal, who was the best handlers? And I said, well, in my opinion, I've got maybe a handful that stand above. And, we talked about there and this and that and other. And I've talked to Dusty and Ducey, and I've talked to little Brandon already, and I hadn't seen Eddie and Jimbo yet, but I had me 6 that...
Ducey,
what my 6 was, in no particular order, Jimbo, Dustin, Ducey, little Eddie.
Bugatti.
You've got the worst damn hands of any. Don't interrupt my list. My God, you're horrible.
I'm the best of the best.
Oh God.
I'm the best.
Okay, I'm gonna say this in the interview, and I want to look into the camera. You're so bad at handling chicken, you can't handle a chicken leg to eat it.
You motherfucker.
But no, my list was in no particular order: Jimbo, Dustin, Ducey, little Eddie, little Brandon, and me.
And Bugatti.
No, hell no.
You forgot Bugatti?
And I talked to 3 of the other ones, and it's like little Brandon, me and him was talking about it. And I said, if you ever hear this show up, I put it in no particular order, but here was my 6. And little Brandon says, I tell you, I can do one better than that. I said, well, tell me, in case the guy ever calls back. He says, we'll take any era, any weapon, any era, any year. You give us our 6 and you can have everybody else. And I said, well, I didn't even think of it like that. I'm from Arkansas. I ain't very damn smart. And little Brandon, he was very confident. He said, yeah, give us our 6 and you can have everybody else. I said, well, that's pretty damn stout because there's been lots of people through the years, you know.
Right.
But you have to agree with him.
Same with families of chickens.
Right. That's exactly right. I mean, there's 3 or 4 or 5 families of chickens that have stood out over the last 75 years that continue to stand out.
Or teams of roosters.
That's exactly right.
Or breeders.
Or even you could go to basketball, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You could go to golf, Tiger Woods. You go to football, Tom Brady. There's that one that stands out in every generation.
Like I said, I haven't bought a rooster from Jeff in 25 years.
Right.
If I wanted Kelsos, I go with Kelsos right now with him.
Right.
I wanted blacks, I go black to him or Roberto Ramirez. But he's a good fucking breeder and he's fucking honest.
Yeah.
You fucking Mexicans look for a good,
solid,
honest, white guy.
That's right.
And you see. Watch how he breeds his fucking pure ones.
That's right. That's right.
If he's single mating his fucking pure roosters
for himself,
and then from there he can mass produce.
That's right.
But if he doesn't single mate his personal brood stock,
that's right.
He ain't no fucking count.
I agree to that.
He ain't no fucking count, and he's never gonna be a count, and he's gonna be. And in 5 years, he's not going to know what he has. He's going to have to go back to buy roosters here and there.
Well, in my opinion, and I can speak from experience, when me and my wife was doing all the breeding here, okay, when we single mated our brood stock, I would put the hens on tie cords with a water bowl, a nest box, and a 3-foot tie cord. Let the rooster run loose. That way you mark every chick out of every hen out of every basket. Mm-hmm. Therefore, when you go to the incubator, and we had a hell of a mess because we had little compartments in our incubators for like 3, 4, 5 eggs, and we had our dividers. And hell, I had a damn mess. But I knew which chicken come out of which chicken that come out of which chicken. You understand? My Uncle Sammy set me up on this when we was breeding. The pure stock. Put the hens on the tie cord, let the rooster run loose. All right. Over the next 2 or 3 years, keep 6 pullets out of each hen. If the number 3 hen's sons do the best, find her daughters. And the next hen, let's say she's number 7, her sons is almost as good. Take her sons, breed to his sisters, take this rooster and breed to that sister, right, and kill every damn thing else because they didn't hold up to number 3 and number 7.
But I'll tell you one thing though. Most American breeders, big breeders, will take those other ones that he should have killed and use them or sell them. If they're lucky, they sell them.
Right.
If they're not lucky, they use them to produce more fowl.
Right. And then
to meet their orders.
Right.
And I've seen this happen. I mean, over and over again, top teams in Mexico, and they lose for 3 reasons. They dominate for 2-3 years, mm-hmm, and it's like 3 years too, because I think Carboneras dominated for 3, 4, 5 years, 3-4 years.
Bush, my guy,
Bush dominated for 2-3 years. Michael dominated for 3 years. Then Magdalena dominated for 3-4 years. Cascabel dominated for 3-4 years.
Right.
Magdalena dominated for 1 year.
Right.
I mean, this in the
right.
And then Libano dominated for 3 years.
Well, it goes back to what my Johnny Stancil, my main dude, my guy, said, 3-year cycles.
And I'll tell you why the 3-year cycles. One, the feeders of these big teams start getting cocky.
Okay.
And they start getting money.
Right.
And they start going gambling, or they go to the whorehouse, or they take a little, little too much,
right,
the powder, and that's with the feeders, or they get money and they get so cocky and inflated by the money, mm-hmm, that they don't want to work no more.
Right.
They don't have the hunger.
Yeah. My daddy, he used to talk about it. He says, sometimes when your pockets get fat, your ass gets half.
Yeah.
Talking about half-ass work. And I'm not talking about nobody, but there was lots and lots of days when we would get home late on Saturday night and Daddy'd say, Toddy, go put the roosters in the boxes, son, and put something in front of them, a little treat. You get up in the morning and get them, put them out. And get them other ones up and bring them on in. And I'd be like, but, well, we won yesterday. And he says, that was yesterday.
It's no longer.
It don't count.
It don't count no more.
You know, when they renovated that old brick house up there, they throwed away over 80 trophies. Mm-hmm. When my daddy died, the family got the old family storage building that was back there behind the house. It probably had another 3 dozen trophies in it.
Yeah.
That just got hauled off. I've kept a few through the years that was sentimental to me. But back in the day, if we went 4-1 and 3 people won and we didn't draw the trophy ticket, we didn't buy a trophy. Because my daddy says, and he stayed on my old man pretty hard on me, and I value it now. He wasn't the best person in the world. He wasn't the best father in the world. But he instilled in me mentally toughness, get your ass up, do what you're going to do, right or wrong. If you're going to be a deadbeat, be the best deadbeat in the world. If you're going to be a feeder, be the best feeder in the world. Yeah. If you're going to go weed eat for a living, be the best damn weed eater in the world.
My dad told me the same thing.
And it don't make a damn what you do. And he says, and talk shit to everybody. And if somebody whoops your ass, just get your ass whooped. If you got your ass whooped, you just got your ass whooped. But don't let nobody treat you bad or talk bad to you or get ignorant with you and get away with it for free. Because if they do it one time, next time they see it, they're going to do it again. Yeah. And then it's going to get old. He says, always stand up for yourself. Be the better person. Be a good person. But draw that firm line.
Well, I've never had a problem because I've always dealt with good people that have never fucked me over. So I've always.
Would you get over this? Okay. I'm trying to teach you, dumbass. We're looking at the horizon, not the sunset. Okay. It's kind of like we won last week. Well, hell, that was last week. Bring the trophies home. Let them start collecting dust, and then get your ass back out there and get to feeding and watering chickens.
Go back to the thing. So one thing's the feeder.
Right.
They get cocky.
I agree.
They don't get hungry anymore.
They ain't hungry no more.
And they get too much money in their hands.
That's right.
Okay.
And they'll hand off responsibility. Because they'll have them a little assistant that thinks they're number one. So the little assistant's going to step up and learn. Well, he's not going to do what that top feeder done.
Right. That's one problem. Second, their breeder, that was only breeding 200 or 300 roosters, good fucking roosters, using good hands.
Right.
That Mexican goes to him and goes, how much are your roosters? Oh, they're, $300. How many you got? 200. Comes back next year, bring me 500.
Right.
Come back next year, bring me 1,000.
Yeah.
So that breeder starts using hands that he shouldn't be using.
Yeah.
And that 3-year mark comes along.
And it peters out.
That feeder starts getting cocky and too much partying and too many whores.
Name brand.
And that
big name brand.
And that breeder starts, buying roosters here and there, and the neighbor, they're lemon hackle. Oh, bring him over. I'll sell them as trios.
Right.
I know that's never happened.
Yes, never happened.
It never happened.
You're making accusations.
False
accusations.
False. And
or they'll have the best hatch grays and radios in the world and then choose to breed something else. Even though it's a really good looking tall white boy from Arkansas.
Like maybe Hennies or
Black
Hennies.
We got a good looking tall white boy from Arkansas who tries to drive people in the right direction.
We were on our way to Pack Browns.
A breeder. I thought you was gonna kiss the white boy when he said he had white blue hatch grays that were different hatches, and you were like, I thought I was going to get you and put you in the truck. Because he's 21 years old and he created his own chicken. Super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
I'll tell you one thing. Wait, and I'm not talking shit about him.
I wish him the best.
He's going to be somebody.
I agree. I agree.
He's got
that drive.
He's got that drive.
He had it. I seen it.
He doesn't have the drive.
But you was going to Peck Brown's house and my house, and you almost started kissing a 21-year-old white boy. And I'm like, boy, if he'd have said Henny, I'd have grabbed your ass.
I would have kissed him. You said Black Jeff Henny, I would have kissed him. I would have just kissed him.
I seen the Mexican oozing out of you.
I would have kissed him.
I'm like, I'm putting stuff in the truck, and it don't even belong to me. And I'm like, get your ass in the truck. And he said, white, blue, and gray. I said, oh.
We lost another Mexican.
I done drove all the way to North Carolina to get this cheap-ass beaner. And now I'm going to lose my cheap-ass beaner over a white, blue, gray toppy. Hatch. Muff. And I'm thinking, what the hell?
And I asked around who got muffs too that day. I was asking, who's got muffs?
Yeah.
Who's got blues?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, well, I'm going to try to just stick with what's solid that's won the last 50 years. That's going to continue to win the next 50.
Can you find me some mugs?
Some what?
Mugs?
I got some coffee mugs over there. And it says coffee on some of them. I bought them Cracker Barrel, that's got them different pictures. Right. It's like 6 of them you can buy. Right. I got all 6 of them coffee mugs.
You can buy muffs?
Yeah, there's some mugs over there, coffee mugs.
No, muffs, like muffs.
Muffs. Yeah, we're going to get you some muffs.
I'm sorry, this is Mexican.
It's the Mexican in you. Y'all can't help it.
Okay, so go back to the other thing. So we said the feeders, the breeders.
Right.
And then the owners.
Right. Cocky,
or they start going down on the medicine. Oh, wait, let's not buy from Bugatti. It's too expensive.
Right.
And no, you don't need to fucking provide them to all you. The more, you don't need that.
Right.
And, okay, I got a friend of mine, Omar. He's a vet. He's a vet for pitching guys.
Okay.
And I always thought that there's more money in cockfighting than pigeons. He said, you're fucking stupid. He goes, how much is the most expensive fucking rooster you ever... what's the most expensive rooster you ever heard of?
I guess a trio, 1,500, 2,500,
one rooster. What's the most expensive rooster you ever heard somebody pay an outrageous price for?
I don't know, Victor. Let's just go with a trio, okay? A $3,500 trio. Okay.
So $1,500 for
a rooster.
Cock.
Okay.
Let's say $2,000 for cock.
Okay.
You know what the most expensive pigeon ever sold was?
I ain't got a clue.
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million
for a goddamn pigeon.
You're going to get your ass out of my house. We're getting out of the chicken business and we're going to Bell Bill.
Damn pigeons. Pigeons. And there's pigeon races that are $1 million races.
Oh, now I know this.
And it's, a lot of pigeons cost $100,000, $200,000, $500,000. One pigeon.
Okay.
One pigeon.
All right.
And that one pigeon could give you winners or could not give you winners.
That's right.
Okay. Just like a roosters.
That's right.
And he handles some of the top teams there in Guadalajara. His name is Omar. They call him the 240. Anyway, the big places that he goes, the winningest teams, he'll go and test the pigeons out. Make sure they don't have any coccidiosis or you know how many times a week or how many times a month?
I'd say twice a week, 8 times a month.
Huh? He does it twice a week.
Yeah.
He goes and tests
their pigeons.
The loft.
8 times a month.
8
twice
times
a week.
Yeah. He does that twice a week. And we have people in rooster fights that
have never tested a rooster in their life. In their life. I've seen, it's like this. Me and Daddy won Cocker of the Year. The year I graduated high school, 94, it rolled over into 95. My daddy didn't believe in medicine. He didn't believe in all this. None of this. My daddy wouldn't have allowed this at my house because he was, like they say, old time, old school, clique, small community. They didn't realize this was available because they ain't never been nowhere.
Right.
This right here is available 7 days a week. Any version of anybody, of any person can purchase whatever they need to improve their guts, their respiratory. They can send roosters to the lab in America. They can send roosters to the lab in Mexico. They can get swabs done, and nobody does it. But I'm going to tell you something about a man, and I had to learn this the hard way. this year, my doctor, I go over there and I get my checkup. And we're fooling with my thyroid, and I done gained 64 pounds fooling with him, thyroid and thyroid medicine, and I'm about had it. But that's another story. He says, Toddy, you ain't never had your 45 and 50-year-old checkup. I said, no, hell, I ain't sick. He says, he turned and looked at my wife. She's sitting there because she always goes to the doctor with me because I don't never tell the truth. I tell her, they told me I was a perfect specimen. So
Handsome.
Yeah, handsome, good-looking, perfect specimen.
Above Robert penis.
Yeah. From Arkansas, he's the cream of the crop from Arkansas, you know. So he fills out a little piece of paperwork and he goes to hand it to me. And he says, and he hands it to my wife. So me and Hardhead, we get up and we're leaving out there. I said, what'd that paper say? She says, you're fixing to get a checkup. I said, well, hell, I just left the doctor. I'm fine. I worked 91 hours last week. Goddamn, we done one here, and we done got this going in the barn, and we got baby chicken. We're working. We ain't got time. We don't even do checkups on our own damn bodies. You understand?
Right.
I had a complete checkup deal this year.
To your prostate?
Yeah. No, they put the camera in there and checked everything.
Come on.
No.
Big finger. They got a big finger. I'll do 2 fingers. Come on.
Hey, they put that medicine in my hand. I fell out, so I'm hoping they didn't violate.
You like it.
But no, he was telling, I mean, we go back, and I mean, there's so much that goes into that process, and they can see and tell so much about your health by checking your guts. Well, I mean, when he broke it down to me, I'm like, damn, I should have done this. But we don't even take care of our own damn selves.
Here's the thing, though. There's two kinds of things going on in Mexico. Mm-hmm. The vets say you do only medicine when you're sick, the roots are sick. And they're the ones that say, no, you do preventive medicine.
Right.
And people go to my yard and practically the whole month, mm-hmm. I'm running medicine. Either antibiotic, either the Fosbe-12, the Bugavir, I run it 3 times a week.
Right.
The Coxy, I run it two times a week, 2 times a month. The sulfur sulfite, I run it every month.
Right.
Every month I do antibiotic, and I change it around too. I switch it.
Rotate. Okay.
These are athletes.
Purebred athletes.
Purebred athletes.
Right.
Fighting for their life.
That's correct.
Not just for a medal, for a trophy. They don't
know that trophy's
there. They don't know that trophy's there.
They don't know that pile of money's over there.
No.
They're going forward for you.
Right.
They put their trust in you.
Right. So they're athletes. So let's say a boxer. Hey, coach, my stomach hurts.
Right.
Hey, coach, I'm not feeling good.
He calls that time out. You hear me talk about when the boxer tells his coach he's sick, that coach calls the timeout. Right. That chicken can't call a timeout.
Right. So they're fighting for their life. We talked about percentage the other day.
Yeah. The
percentages are what counts.
That's right.
And I'll retell a story. There was a world-class tennis player. Mm-hmm. He was ranked number 600, mm-hmm. making $250,000 at number 600. His record or his percentage was 47%.
Right.
47 or 40. I think 49%. 49% of his match. Not his matches won. Of points won.
Right.
Not matches. So his points won was 49%. He went from 600 to number 3. Mm-hmm. It went from $250,000 to $5 million.
Right.
And then he went from number 3 to number 1, where he went from $250,000 to $5 million to $25 million. Mm-hmm. His percentage increase went from 49 to 52 to 55%.
Right.
It was only 6 points percentage.
That's right.
Increase.
But his money went up 1,000. Yeah.
His money went from 250 to 25 million.
That's
plus all the endorsements of Nike and all
that's
that.
Right. That's right.
Same thing with medicine. You could buy cheap fucking medicine.
Right.
Or you can not give medicine, which is even worse.
That's even worse. That's right. Or you can half-ass on the medicine. If it says 5 days, you use it 5 days, and you go out there and you say, "Oh, it was X amount of dollars for that bottle. That's too much. I'm only going to use it this one day."
Right.
Well, you actually put yourself backwards because now the bacteria can build up a system against that 1 day medicine and overtake that medicine.
Right.
So, yeah, I get it. I comprehend it.
So I'm stewing with Cascabeles. Do you know why? Because Cascabeles, he says, "You're too fucking cocky for me, Victor. You're too fucking arrogant.
Right.
Calm down." He kept on telling me over and over again, "You're talking too much shit."
Right. Right.
Because I don't like this. And he told me that.
And I've told you that.
And you told me that. And you told yourself that.
And I had to learn that when I was young and
Right.
used to be pitter, and we was winning Cockers of the Years, and we was winning derbies, and I was handling for big shots, and we were going to like big events and winning.
Right.
It was like, oh, I'm the Todd.
Right.
I had a Mexican call me one time, and he says, "Are you the Todd?" I said, "Yeah, I am the Todd."
What?
Well, now I say, I just work here. I had to humble myself.
Right. So,
percentages.
and I kind of, when that happened, I thought, fuck, I'm talking too much shit.
Right.
And I did a video where I apologized, and I said, "Look, my Facebook face, my Facebook face. Right. I've never been too rude to anybody in person.
Yeah.
And everybody knows me, you know, that I haven't. But I was being too cocky, and I said in that interview, you know, Cascabeles probably doesn't like me. Magdalena, Don Memo, he probably doesn't like me that much. He's cocky, but he knows how I cut." Towards the end, and you kept on telling me, you and James, stop feeding those goddamn chickens. Jason, my buddy Jason.
Oh, I stayed on you about that.
Goddamn you gotta get them empty. And towards the end, I was cutting.
That's right.
Was fucking,
you know, there was one conversation.
And that's the reason why I'm still getting. And then, sorry to interrupt you. That's the reason why I got more roosters from Cascabeles and Magdalena, because even though I'm a problem, I talk too much shit.
You win.
I cut so much.
But I'm gonna tell you this, and what I had to learn, one of the other lessons I've learned the hard way. It seems like I learned all my lessons the hard way because I ain't very smart. Was when I quit being overbearing, over cocky. It was like everything fell into place for me.
Oh.
Because I was like pushing my blessings away with my cockiness.
Well.
Because, you know, I like to laugh and joke and play, and I'm about half goofy and about half dumb, but I like to play and joke, and everywhere I go, no matter where it is, we get out and go talking trash and laughing and cutting up, carrying on. Some people don't like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if I got out and said, "How you doing today, sir?" and I just, "Thank you for letting me be here. I've enjoyed being here." Then I leave and they'll be like, "Well, we love old Toddy."
Well,
but I get out and go laughing with you, or me and Carlos get to talking trash and laughing. Well, everybody's watching. They want to laugh with us. But when they leave, there's two different sets of opinions leaving. Yeah. Either they liked it or they didn't
like
and they wasn't even in the circle or the family that where all the joking was going on.
Well, when I realized it's everything, I had a guy who wanted my medicine, right? And I gave him medicine to sell. And he had him posted on Facebook. And what happened? And he said, "Half people like you, half people hate you."
Right.
And then I won. And the last time I won 9 straight. I won 5 in the Derby and 4 in another entry. And I didn't fight the other one. And I won 9 straight. And I told my buddy Gordo from Bakersfield, I go, "What people say about my fights?" And they said nothing.
Right.
And I go, "What do you mean nothing?" "No."
Right.
Nothing. And I realized that one Derby I won in San Luis Potosí, I did a video, right? It was funny I thought it was funny as fuck. I go, bet money was there. I go, "I'm going to win this goddamn Derby. Mm-hmm. I ain't going to split with no motherfucker.
Right.
I'm going to fucking, it was 7 o'clock. I'm going to win 7 straight, 6 clean, and 1 a little bit."
Right.
And I'm pissed off because it's only 40 grand in the pot, and my truck I want to buy cost 50 grand.
Right.
And I won the goddamn Derby.
Oh, no.
So people who hated me were waiting for me to fucking just laugh. I mean, they're waiting on their phones just to fucking, "You stupid motherfucker," blah, 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 right?
Well, you got lucky and won that day.
But
Right.
those people who hate me can't even stand me even more because I did it and I won.
Right. And
So-
you were over cocky, and you
And
were
I was
overbearing,
over-
and you was pushing them
And
away.
I would push them away.
Right.
And I saw this video where it says the difference between arrogant and confident. And it said, okay, confident guys knows it's going to win. Like Carol. I said, Carol. Carol said, I won 13 seasons in a row. I won so many derbies. He's like, I knew I was going to win.
Right.
But he was being confident. And then the same video said, being arrogant, you want to tell everybody you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's like people who have money. People who have really, really, really money don't talk about money.
Right.
People who are handsome like me,
Right, yeah, you're good looking.
I don't have to say I'm handsome. You can
You
tell I'm
better
handsome.
believe it. You better believe
can
it.
tell.
Yes, Lord have mercy. But I'm gonna buy them some glasses if they think you're handsome.
Right.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe. These people need some seeing glasses, but
Right.
but I understand what you're saying. But what bothers me the most about what we're talking about is I'm cool with all of it. Yeah, we've all, disagreement or whatever. But when the day starts, it's a new day. When the event starts, it's a new event. We've got friends or foes or other teams that hold stuff against us that happened in 2002 or 1977 or 1988.
They don't forget.
Or they're still bragging on what happened in 1988. And I'm like, guys,
It's over.
we're all old and fat. We're getting gray hair on the side. We used to sit around and talk about the old guys. Well, now we are the old guys.
Right.
Okay, we need to come to a point where if you're in on the joking, either laugh or get out. But don't have no hatred either way. Because at the end of the day, in this rooster industry, we're all in this together.
Right. And this is what I did. I stopped talking so much shit on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I started producing good videos.
Right.
Interviews.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd.
No, and I started doing like videos like, okay, day 1 and keep. I'm gonna do this. Day 2, day 3, day 4. And I'm gonna do the whole keep.
Right.
And those are gonna be, videos that people watch and they get something out of it.
Right.
Not just stupid memes where I'm fucking, I don't know, doing some stupid shit or talking shit on Facebook.
Right. And I'm going to tell you this. If you was to do that to help the younger guys that are up and coming, because here's the deal. And I've had to learn this lesson the hard way because that's how I learn all my lessons. If somebody don't come behind us that's willing to work and put in the work and have the work ethic to have the chickens, to build the program, to build the facilities for themselves, this is going to die out.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I personally made the decision to go back solid
Lines.
Because of chickens.
You want to have them 34 years from now.
Well, in that
your ACOs, they were 3 year.
they were the 3-year cycle.
3 year cycle.
That's right. I want to go back to, let's say a guy's 24 years old and he comes out here and buys him a gray rooster and 2 gray hens. I want him to have the opportunity to have something to work with when he leaves here.
Yeah.
And the 3-year cycle fad stuff, I'll never do it again.
Well, I talked to Plumber the other day, and he said, I go, your ACOs have JAP? I go, yeah, they do. I go, why? And I try to do an interview, he wouldn't do it.
Right.
But I told his wife I'm gonna do it. The last thing I do, I'm gonna do it. And she just laughed. She's a sweetheart, Mrs. Plumber. And he said I added it because my ACOs were getting really, really, really small, so I had to add that.
Right.
The JAP led.
Right.
But it worked.
Well, there you go.
It improved it.
Right.
But we gotta see how long it improves it.
That's right.
And we have to see.
Time is the teacher of all, and time is the teller of all.
Oh,
you understand? And
going back to the cockiness, Don Memo sends me a message one day, right? We went and fought a big main, right? Big derby. It was 14 teams no, I think it was 20 teams. 20 teams for like $13,000. So 260 grand. U.S. and Mexico, right? And I took the roosters. It sends me a message. Bugarin, please focus.
Right.
Please focus. And I did this stupid I post something on video on Facebook and people are talking shit and I didn't fucking focus.
Right.
And one of my roosters was off on weight, but it was my fault.
Right.
And I had to put in the backup show, and the backup show didn't do good. I mean, he fought terrible. And he calls me the next day and he goes,